From Giant Stadium in New Jersey, it's the Rowdies and the New York Cosmos tonight here on Channel 44. Good evening, everyone. This is Randy Scott, along with University of Tampa soccer coach Jay Miller, set to bring you tonight's exciting Rowdies-Cosmos match right here on Channel 44 Sports. And, Jay, nobody could deny that it's been the longest of seasons for the Rowdies. They're out of playoff competition now, mathematically eliminated last week. But tonight they're playing a team right here that always seems to bring out the best in them.
Well, the Cosmos will bring out the best in any team because they are the elite of the whole league. They've been that way for 5 or 6 years. When you come into this stadium, you know you're going to have to show well because you're in the showcase of the whole league. Another thing to complicate the matter is that the Professor Massey, he has his team peaked right now. They have 6 in a row. They're all playing quite well at the moment. They're getting ready for the playoffs.
Think about Cosmos Rowdies matches of that 5-4 thriller back in Tampa the last time these two teams met. It was a classic, and the Rowdies are loose in the locker room. They're looking forward to playing these guys tonight. Record aside, they really enjoy taking on the New York Cosmos. And Al Miller tonight has brought Michael Lasovic, Jimmy Easton, and some of his younger players along, but he's going to start pretty much his veteran lineup.
Well, he has to. This is not a game to fool around with. You need a veteran showing here. Lots of pride, as they were saying all throughout the papers and the media throughout this week, is at stake here. So every player wants to play his absolute best and wants to show his colors as a true team.
Well, the opening kickoff is straight away, and we'll be right back with all the exciting action here on Channel 44. It's the Rowdies and the Cosmos from the Meadowlands. Stay with us. As you can see, the umbrellas are out at Giant Stadium. A warm, muggy night here at the Meadowlands. The Rowdies of the Cosmos kick off moments away. Wednesday night, the Rowdies lost another heartbreaker, this time to Fort Lauderdale in Tampa. Let's take a look at those goals. Strikers went up 1-0. Bronco Segota nutmegs Glenn Marnick, and one-on-one right there beats Rowdy keeper Tommy Boric to his right 16 minutes into the game. The next goal is bizarre. Late in the half, Bob Belitho's shot bounces off Glenn Marnick, hits the knee of Brian Kidd, rolls into the far corner. Second half, Rowdies come back. Peter Berlich, penalty kick. Van Beveren can't handle it. Tattoo rifles in his 12th goal of the season on the follow-up, but Fort Lauderdale wins yet another close one in that series, 2-1. Oh, we just had a lightning and thunderclap here at Giant Stadium, but got a pretty big response from this crowd that's still coming in here, Jay Miller. We are set for tonight's match, and let's take a look at the starting lineups for both teams tonight. For the Cosmos, in goal, young David Bursich, who is only making his 6th start of the season for the Professor. On defense, his typical cast of internationals, Andronic Eskandarian, Robert Yarushi, Franz Beckenbauer will sweep, Johan Nieskens. Now in the midfield, Julio Cesar Romero, Ricky Davis, and Vladislav Bogicevic. Up front for the Professor tonight, he'll start Steve Moyers, Giorgio Canaglia, and league leading scorer Roberto Cabanas. Jay, who's starting for Al Miller?
Yeah, for Al Miller, we have Jurgen Stars in the goal. You can see on defense will be Glenn Marnick. Peter Nogli will be sweeping. Mike Connell stopping, probably marking up against Giorgio Canaglia. Greg Thompson. At the midfield, they'll go with 4 of them. Fleming Lund, Jan van der Veen, Peter Berlich, and Manny Rojas. And the 2 front runners, the 2 youngsters, Mark Carpin and Tattoo.
Well, I don't know if it's an omen or not, but the rain is starting to come down heavily. It had been kind of an overcast day most of the day here in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And just about 2 minutes before we went on the air, the rain came, the thunder and lightning are here. And it's going to be a tough test for the Rowdies tonight to win on the road, especially here against the Cosmos. But as we mentioned in our pregame comments, Jay, they are looking forward to playing this team. They always do. You take a look at the captains of the team at midfield. Giorgio Canaglia, who got a round of boos when he was introduced tonight. I think the fact that perhaps he's announced he's leaving after this season to go back to his old club may have little something to do with that.
Well, they've been loving to boo him ever since his existence here with the New York Cosmos. But I tell you, there's some great war stories that go with Giorgio, the most prolific goal scorer in the NASL history, and he has definitely been good for the league. You know, he said he never wanted to be the charismatic person like a Pelé. As you can see, former captain Jan van der Veen there saying, come on, let's play the game. I'm getting cold out here and I'm getting wet. But getting back to Giorgio, he said that he would just rather show himself with his goals. And now it looks like the Rowdies, switching around, or are they ordered off the field maybe because of lightning? This is interesting.
The Cosmos are standing around with their hands on their hips. The Rowdies are definitely heading for the tunnel. And I see Coach Al Miller also heading in that direction.
So it would be the only reason that they would delay the start of a soccer game would be for lightning if they feel it is not safe. Obviously snow, rain, sleet, all those other factors.
There they go into the tunnel.
Look at this.
Well, that bolt of lightning that cracked about 5 minutes ago was dangerously close. And rather than take any chances, it's always a wise move to, well, see some of the fans looking on, booing, a little unhappy with the delayed start of tonight's match. But I'm sure it's just a matter of time before we do get underway here, and perhaps this storm will pass over quickly. Raining fairly heavily down there right now on the AstroTurf. And when we do get this underway, there goes Jurgen Stars, last man off the field. He was down in the net. He was ready to play at the far end of the field. So
there's been a little controversy about Jurgen Stars starting tonight in that he's supposed to go under arthroscopic surgery, this Tuesday, and that's a procedure in which they put a small scope in the knee area. They take a look at the injury there, and if it's just minor surgery to be taken care of, they can remove a part of the cartilage and bring it out. If it looks more serious, then they will make it a more serious type operation, take care of it. But Coach Al Miller, feeling that he needed his veterans up here, chose to take Jurgen Stars along on the trip, and he's up here and prepared himself mentally, as I spoke with him earlier, to play in this game.
Saw a ground level view, and looking up into the lights here, you can see it is raining very heavily at the moment. And of course, field conditions would be very slick once we do get underway, because we do have the artificial turf here at the Giant Stadium. Rowdies come in here tonight with a 3-game losing streak in their back pocket, a record of 7-20 overall. Some of the officials huddling under the umbrellas down there. 3 games remaining, including this one. They will go down to Fort Lauderdale this Wednesday night for a big match against their Southern Division opponents, the Strikers, and come back home to close out the regular season next Saturday night at Tampa Stadium against the Tulsa Roughnecks. And at this stage of the season, Jay, the Rowdies, of course, can figure prominently in who wins the Southern Division. They can really play the role of spoiler against both Fort Lauderdale and Tulsa. We'll be right back with a look at more heavy rain here at Giant Stadium. After the game, by the way, shortly after the end of the game tonight. And saluting one of the Rowdies for an outstanding play tonight.
Moyer's being called for tripping from behind there against Greg Thompson. Those two have locked horns all evening long.
The Rowdies about to suffer their 21st defeat of the season with 15 seconds remaining. Neeskens with a defensive header. Back up to midfield, and the Cosmos should be able to kill it on this drive, on this surge. Into the penalty box. There's a shot, and it's wide of the left post by Cesar Romero, and time runs out. And the just under 20,000 crowd here at Giant Stadium standing and applauding their Cosmos tonight. You take a look at Coach Al Miller and the Rowdies walking off the field, assistant coach Roy McCroyan. Handshakes all around at midfield. In spite of the weather, pretty well played game tonight. Spirited contest, and fortunately, in spite of the fact we had several nasty knocks and collisions down there, both teams appeared to escape with no players seriously injured, and that's important.
Well, that's very difficult, and players learn over a long period of time how to protect themselves, and they did a very good job. You could see the experience come out really in the older players and being able to be effective even on a carpet or a surface just like it was tonight.
We'll be right back with a recap of tonight's game after this message. Off the air about an hour and a half before this, but the kickoff here was delayed an hour and 20 plus minutes due to that severe lightning and rainstorm that swept across northern New Jersey and delayed our opening kickoff. We lost power, and it was just kind of a strange night here. Once play did get underway, we hope you enjoyed the match. The Rowdies losing 3-1. Jay, our Etnon play of the game.
Well, the play of the game has to be the goal, and really it's a two-part. Here's Peter Barlich, and he puts it right on the money. Now, the pass beats everyone, but the key is you got to be able to put these home, and Michel Lasovich does just that as a perfect header that time. Really not too many other places to go, and if you can play it back to the wrong foot of the goalkeeper, which he did that time, and just put it home, and actually gave the Rowdies new life in which they had about 5 minutes to play with to maybe even it up.
Well, with the loss tonight, the Rowdies record drops to 7-21. 2 games remaining Wednesday night in Fort Lauderdale, Saturday, wrapping this season up at home against the Tulsa Roughnecks. The Cosmos go to 21-8. They have but 1 match remaining, and I wouldn't be surprised by what we see the Cosmos and maybe the Whitecaps in Soccer Bowl 83.
That's going to be exciting, because they're going to play it up there in Vancouver, the Soccer Bowl, in their brand new stadium.
Jay, enjoyed working with you this season, and for Jay Miller, this is Randy Scott at Giant Stadium, thanking you for joining us on our Rowdies telecast tonight on Channel 44 Sports.